Y'all asked, I answered. Let's talk about Wendy. Everybody else is, and y'all want me to do the same. Let's get into it. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. Welcome back, everybody. This is Auntie, and y'all wanted me to talk about this. Now, y'all know I have not been doing reviews on the Real Housewives since I don't know when. I watch sometimes I don't. It just all depends on how I feel. But I got a couple of, well, not a couple, I got a lot of DMs and even comments on other videos that y'all wanted me to discuss this. And we just gonna go ahead on and get into it. Everything that I say is my opinion, except for what is actual. Okay. And we just gonna go ahead on and talk about it. Now I know that a lot of people have been um playing the video. I won't be playing the video. I will be reading the allegations that are against them. Please remember that with everything else, they are innocent until they are proven guilty in the court of law. Okay, so make sure that whatever you discuss, that you know that it's your opinion, okay, and not actual and factual. So we woke up this morning to some news, didn't we, y'all? That Wendy and her husband Eddie just don't appear to be what some people thought that they were. And I say some people because I did just a little bit of homework on what people have thought about the two of them um, in the past. Everybody has not been convinced that this couple are on the up and up or have ever been on the up and up. Many people, question her credentials as a businesswoman. And stuff like that. I have not gotten into it, which is why I did my homework and really went on and did the investigation and looked it up. Please feel free to make your comments down in the comments section. But I just want to make sure that you know that Raydella Lewis, the lady that is down here in the blue, okay, that is welcoming everybody and being oh so nice. Let's see. Will snipe you. She will remove you from the comments section if you get out of hand. Okay, so I just want to forewarn you that she is here. Okay, but welcome everybody. These people that you see in green are the members of Auntie's Advice. Welcome members, and everybody else that is here is affectionately known as my nieces and my nephews. Okay, so we're going to go ahead on and start with it. I'm going to talk to you all about some of the allegations, like I said. And so let me bring that up real quick. Now, I have been living in the DMV area for all my life. Never lived anywhere else. I ain't never heard of no Finksburg. I ain't never heard of Finksburg, Maryland in my life. Like, I was like, okay, let me go look this up. I have never heard of this place before in my life. So I know it just got to be like rich people living there, I'm assuming, or people who are, in agriculture or whatever. Okay, D said brokery, brokery alert, okay? Um, I'm just like, where's this at? But anyway, so they came out today and they said the following. So they said Wendy and her husband, who live in, they gave her address. I ain't gonna give her address out. They said that they are reality stars on the Housewives of Potomac. They said which is filmed partly from the residence in Finksburg, Maryland, an hour away. They said on April 7th of 2024 at approximately 10:13 p.m., deputies responded to a residence in the 1900 block of Turnberry um for a burglary. Before I even get into it, I don't know why they thought they was gonna get away with this. Yo, I'm sorry. I gotta let that out because I just can't go another further. How in the did you think that you were gonna get away with this? If this is what they're doing. Now, mind you, it is all accusations and allegations right now. Okay, they are innocent until they what, y'all? Proven in court. But how in the do you think, you know how they have that saying, I'm going, in our community, okay? This is in the black community. They say, you know what? I ain't got to do nothing but be black and pay my taxes. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever heard that, but how in the do you think that you're going to get over on an insurance company when they don't ever want you to use this? They want you, in my opinion, they want you to pay for it. But insurance, they don't want you to ever need to pay to use it. I don't care if it's medical insurance. I don't care if it's car insurance. I don't care if it's insurance on your home. I don't care if it's insurance on your appliances. I don't care what. Okay, yeah, you got to stay black and die. Okay, you got to stay black and die. Okay. Insurance is, in my opinion, it's just something you don't play with because they don't want you to use it anyway. They don't want you to use it. That's just my opinion about it. You pay for it, but around, they done around and found out. And then you got one insurance company, and you think that the other insurance company ain't gonna talk to the other insurance company about the fact that you not only using the insurance, but you using it for $400,000, and you look like this. Wait a minute, hold on. This $400,000. They don't want you to use insurance on a good day, bitch, let alone a bad one. So anyway, they see that the husband called 911 to report a burglary. They reported that their home had been burglarized sometime between April 2nd and April 7th of 2024 while they were on vacation in Jamaica. So it was somewhere around there. We ain't sure. We got cameras in the house and outside the house, but we haven't been able to narrow down the day that they came up in the house. Absolutely, KB. Hey, Nasa. Hey, Boo. The house would have been vacant at the time with no one in the house and nobody had a key to it. They claimed that they lost designer handbags and jewelry valued at over $200,000 were missing from their bedroom upstairs. The kids ain't had no jewelry. It wasn't nothing valuable downtown in the living room, like art and like that. Like it was no vehicles, no bicycles, no, like they just came straight to their bedroom and just start stealing. Like they said that the patrol deputies handled the burglary according to policy and made contact with the investigators. They said with the major crimes unit to assist because the dollar amount that was stolen. Now again, I've already told y'all that they don't want you to use the insurance anyway, but now you done went over the threshold. You done went over the threshold of us getting our team in there. Okay? You ain't think this all the way through. I digress. The investigators came to the crime scene the night of the report and started processing it. They did fingerprints, DNA, and everything for evidentiary value. And while they was there, they wanted to state that he wanted to thank the police. Okay. They actually responded to the superintendent of the state police, Colonel Butler, and they just whatever. They said it should be noted, okay, that the residents do have interior and exterior surveillance cameras in their home, like I do. None of the cameras picked up a mother. They didn't even pull up a ghost, Beetlejuice, nothing. Not even a creature was stirred. This was like the night before Christmas. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse up in that mother. They ain't pick up. They said wasn't nothing on the camera. They said any motion, well, no motion in the ocean, or anything inside the house moved, shifted, nothing. They got cameras outside and inside. It ain't pick up no suspicious activity outside the residence during this time. Detectives also checked the surveillance cameras. There was no evidence of a break-in or even any suspicious activity around that part of Maryland. Because who going out that mother? This got to be the boonies. Because I told you, y'all know I'm 60. I've been living in the DMV area, mainly DC, all my life. I've never heard of this part of Maryland. Ain't nobody going out that month, okay? Ain't that part probably fields. Who going out there? They noted that there was nothing going on. The patrol, the deputies, detectives found no signs of forced entry or physical evidence of a burglary, such as fingerprints, footprints, cat paws, dog paws, or any entry point. Then they gonna tell them that the burglar came through the second floor window in the master bedroom. How convenient that they knew where that was. Get the f out of here. They should have went to Nene and Pookie and them and asked them, like, if you was going to burglarize my house, Nene and Pookie, how you going to do it? Like, how you coming in? What's your entry point? Ain't nobody coming up out that all the way out there in the boonies like that with no ladder. There was no evidence in the residence that someone made an attempt to get into the residence through that particular window. No evidence indicated that anyone came into the house, the bedroom, the upstairs, where the theft occurred. They said now where the theft did occur, they ransacked. It was ransacked. The mattress was thrown off the bed onto the floor to give an indication that a burglary did occur. Initial responder deputies again called investigators because of high dollar value. Now they kept saying that. Now they kept saying this is a high dollar value. They said that you can come and say $50 came up out there, but you talk about 400. Anyway, keep on going on. After the initial report, following days, they made contact with 3 separate insurance companies that the asset is used. You know, daggone well, you can't have a one. 2 at the most. You can have your car under something else in your house, but you ain't gonna be having a whole bunch of insurances on your house. They ain't got it to do. Again, I said they don't want you to use it. Anyway, that's my opinion. They said they had 3 separate companies that the asset is used to insure their property. They said which is common for laws, right? But not that type of laws. The detectives actually communicated with the insurance company to share information in the days following the initial report. They contacted Wendy and her husband contacted the detective several times to provide additional information. I bet you they did. They probably was updating like a month around there. They said that they about information that the of the burglary, evidence of missing items. They also reported the loss of their to the insurance company. Again, this was for an alleged claim that was over $200,000 in items that were stolen from the burglary. Weeks after that, the burglary detectives discovered that Wendy had posted photos on social media wearing jewelry that matched the items that she said was gone and had reported them stolen because they was gone. So you win it? You know, when somebody broke into my house, they took my silver ring with the orange, with the turquoise, and the different gems fused to the inside. Someone, when they came in my house, they took that ring, and it was worth, how much I pay for this? $75 downtown at the TJ Maxx, marked down to $19.99. But the real value of it was $79.99, and it walked out of my house. I don't know, that they took it. So let me go ahead on and add that on to the list. That ring that had been stolen. That was 79. Was it 79? No, it wasn't. I see sometimes my mind be going, it was $99.99 and it was marked down to $29.99, but the real value of it is $100. And it got stolen out of my bedroom when they tossed my mattress and my sheets and my good pillows on the floor. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. My bad. My bad. My bad. Wait a minute. Hold on. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too daggone much for me. I ain't got this to do with y'all. Hold on. That was a clip from an old video. Y'all play too much. Hold on. That was the ring that had gotten stolen, so I don't have it anymore. Oh my God! See how y'all lied. Y'all be lying, talking about I had that ring on. No, I didn't. It got stolen. So anyway, it was reported. They say it was specifically a diamond anniversary band. The detectives were provided with receipts for the loss. Now they had kept the receipts for that ring, that ring. Okay. They said that this was dating all the way back to 2018. It was one of those receipts where email address. They said they became suspicious that it was a false claim on those receipts from for emails addresses when they was asking for email addresses. Okay, detectives authorized search and seizure warrants that they could access their emails. This month right here, wait a minute. He sends Wendy a text message. It was like, y'all, going up in the room, pull them receipts that's in the drawer, balled up, spread them. See, I shouldn't even be doing this, but he said, going up in the room, right? Get them receipts. The ones in the top drawer in the kitchen. You know, in that long drawer. Go up in there and see if you can find the receipts. See if you can find the receipt. I think it's the one that, you know, the receipt that's the one folded up. It's folded up on the top when I was trying to get the junk drawer, because you know everybody got the junk drawer. You know, the one that's up in the junk drawer. Get that one out. Oh, hold on, let me see, baby. Let me look. Because I needed to go up to at least 400. I needed to go up to at least $450, okay? I found it. Go in the junk drawer. Hold on, let me pull out the drawer. Y'all hear the drawer? Know how you be in the drawer? Find that receipt. Baby, I found it. We got this in what? We got this. Wait a minute, let me get to see the receipt date. That's it. This the one. June 2020. See how much you paid for, babe. Bada! Bada, bitch! Yeah, this one is okay, so it was on sale. So it was like 50% off. I don't know if this was like the end of the summer sale, but no. Memorial Day, 50% off. This one is 150,000. When we get this the way you talk about, yeah, that's it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna send this to the detective. Yeah, close that junk drawer up just in case. Okay, I got that. Got that, baby. Who the f you playing with? Who you playing with? We didn't already started off saying you ain't supposed to use anyway. You have a little fender bender, you exchange the information, but if your car ain't up, you good. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How many of y'all out there from DC, from the metropolitan area, or one of them big cities? If your car ain't, we ain't got to call. I mean, I'm gonna get your insurance and stuff just in case, like 2 weeks from now, I'm driving and my tire roll off. But other than that, I'm good. You good? Let me look at your fender. You good? You got a little scratch, got a little bit of paint, but you can get some alcohol, get that off. Yeah, go ahead on. Yeah. We good. We good. We's good. We good down this month. We good. I'm gonna keep your information, like I said, just in case 2 weeks from now something happen. But other than that, we good on this month. Lord, forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me, Jesus. They say they went to the email accounts. to attempt to acquire more evidence. The emails provided additional evidence that indicated this was a fraudulent claim. Specifically, her husband communicated with Wendy and quote, there are additional high value items down in the junk drawer that we can add to the inventory list. I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum. Young, why you go to the max? You thought this was going to work? Over the next several months, detectives, along with the insurance companies, because they was like, we ain't got this to do, worked diligent to verify every freaking receipt they pulled out the junk drawer downtown to the kitchen. And to locate the reported stolen property. You know, they probably went to every thrift store up and down the East Coast. It was later confirmed that Mrs. Wendy had returned several of them items valued at $20,000 to the place where she had originally purchased it from. Are you kidding me? Prior to the alleged burglary, we can see far back as 2018 and several items that have been purchased back in 18 and had the receipts. So that means you just had like I got a junk drawer, right, with receipts in it. Bitch, they got a whole curio cabinet at this point with just boxes and boxes of receipts. Who keeps a receipt back to 2018? Only those items have been returned to the purchaser or to the store that they purchased them from during the window in 2018 of the return policy. Meaning, he said, let me break it down. He said what it meant was, he said this the street thing, street word, street curb. He said if it was a 90-day return policy back in 2018, she actually returned those items within that 90-day, i.e., on the 89th day. So if she brought something and it had 90 days on it, I ain't never thought to do that. I just be like donating it or something or giving it to somebody. I ain't never thought to look at to see how long I got to return this. So something's wrong with me if I'm not looking. Do y'all do that? Okay, anyway. They said the receipts were supplied to us, and those receipts were supplied to her insurance company and were alleged by them to be stolen in the original burglary. Based on a thorough investigation conducted by the detectives, his office in coordination with the Carroll County State Attorney's Office, it became clear that the Osefos, or whatever their name is, fabricated the burglary and filed a false report in an attempt to fraud the insurance company. When in October 29th of 2025, the case represented to Carroll County Grand Jury, which returned an indictment against both their asses and multiple counts of fraud and false reporting. Both individuals was located and snatched up. They had their whole life snatched off of them because they took them into custody downtown to the Turnberry court address. When afternoon on October 9th, yesterday, by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, detectives executed a search and seizure warrant up in them, at the residence during the arrest and found an additional 15 items. I got this. Lord Jesus, they was stupid. If they did this is stupid. And you got babies. Like they got kids. How you gonna go to school Monday? Good thing it's a holiday. But they're gonna have to roll up in there Tuesday at some point. I hope ain't none of the shoes or the backpacks or none of the jewelry they got on them. Is you know what I'm saying? On this little daggone list. They said when they went in a joint to do the arrest, they found an additional 15 items that were believed to be reported stolen by them. They said during the initial report, they were also located during that search and seizure warrant. Those items included jewelry, high-end handbags. They was booked in the Carroll County, and they had to pay a $50,000 bond. And I think that was each one $100,000. That ain't a good return on investment, boo. Because the lawyer gonna eat y'all pockets up. But she a lawyer though, right? I don't know. At this point, I don't know what the going on. She a teacher something. Okay. So anyway, they let me get in my notes. So the state attorney got up there. He said something. He said, "I've indicated to everybody, and I want to emphasize as a threshold matter that all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty." I said that to y'all. Okay, I already said that. Yeah. He said the grand jury of Carroll County, in connection with Wendy and her husband, 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statement to a police officer. Bitch. Now, y'all tell me if this was worth it. This ain't even worth it. Because they got little babies. They got babies. As many times as I have wanted when my baby was growing up and times was hard to use food stamps or swipe somebody's food stamp card, I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I talk a good game. But what we're not doing is we're not certain things I just ain't gonna play with it. The PPP loans, all that stuff. No, yeah, no, young, I'm broke. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Instead of going to a high-end grocery store, going to Hearst Teeth, I'm going to Aldi's. I ain't going to Nordstrom's. I ain't going to Zara's. I ain't going to H&M. I'm gonna go ahead on down here to this damn thrift store. Ain't nobody got this to do, especially when you got kids. Kids usually make people change their mind, but people done got so hard. People don't give it. They be like, take care of them till I get out. I just leave it with anybody. Ain't nobody got time to be committing no crimes. They posted bill this morning. He said the investor women. Hold on. But he said today the investigation determined that on April 8th of 2024, they initiated 3 separate claims for the alleged burglary and theft that occurred at their residence. And those were against Travelers Assurance Company. Oh, Jewelers Mutual Insurance and Home Insurance Company for the alleged losses. Who was that? Geico? More progressive. See, let me stop playing. Why would they be playing with Travelers? They say they reported all three of them for their losses. They reported that the statement of two of the insurance companies regarding a list of stolen items. The husband was also, Eddie was also asked whether any of the items in the list had been returned, which he can deny. He was asked if he had other insurance but failed to disclose. Look, bitch, when they ask you, they already know. This Jeopardy. If they ask you, did you return any of these items, Eddie? It's a Jeopardy question. Doom, 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 doom. Like, young. They already know. That's why they asking you. Because they want you to get the right answer. So they asked Eddie, did you return any of these items? No. The answer for this Jeopardy question was yes. Do you got another insurance company you working with? No. Fail. The answer to that was yes. If they ask you, they know. He could have even said, I believe, I don't recall, but I believe that from my last recollection. No. But I'm not sure. I'll have to go to the receipt drawer in the kitchen and see if I did. What the? They asked him, did you make an insurance claim with Travelers? Did you or did you not? This is so stupid, y'all. This is so dumb. He was asked whether any of the items on the list had been returned. He denied it. He was asked if he had other insurance, but failed to disclose to Homesite and the Jewelers that he was also making a claim with his traveler's insurance for Homesite insurance. Both Ed and Wendy signed a sworn document, because they're going to make you sign it, a sworn statement of loss. With the total amount of loss claimed on the sworn statement, it was $255,000. No, $2,500 for the damage. Okay, no, it was $2,500 to the damage for the building itself, but $450,000 estimated content and personal property. He included inventory of reported stolen items along with receipts for the purchase of most of the items on the inventory. That claim was denied due to the failure to disclose that he already had a policy with Travelers. And in the original claim, because you can't claim this twice. And in the original claim he submitted on April 8th, according to law enforcement, to Travelers, he alleged he had confirmed that he and his wife were wearing the anniversary bands when the loss occurred. However, Ed then called Travelers and said, we ain't have it on. First you say you had them on, then you come back and say you didn't. So if I'm an underwriter, I'm a claim agent, young, I'm sniffing. I'm going to get that Christmas bonus. I'm going to snitch on your ass. I'm looking out for Christmas. Extra $20, $25 on my paycheck. And a little glass, let me see, like they give this to me, you know what I'm saying, with a little plaque on it. Good job, Auntie. Yeah, I'm looking for my Christmas stuff. Or, one of these little things, with your name. Hold on, because one of my subscribers gave it to. With your name on it. And congratulations for saving $4,500. We put an extra $20 on your check. Yeah. Eddie called Travelers on April 10th and said he needed to update the claim, stating that his wife's gold diamond anniversary band was missing, so that the same day Travelers settled the claim for the $2,500 which included the replacement price and the band, which was $4,500 after the initial report he claimed on April 11th. Both Wendy and Eddie signed and submitted letters to the Jewelers Mutual claiming the burglary occurred in items that were reported stolen at the request of the mutual company. They provided an initial list of 57 stolen items, which on this list, stolen items included was Wendy's gold anniversary board band that was reported on the traveler's claim. And then on April 22nd, Addie was interviewed during a recorded call and did not make any mention of the jury claim or pay out with travelers insurance. So eventually, they was like they lying. They lying out this month. They lying, y'all. Can y'all imagine when the girl hung up the phone? She probably was like, "All right, then. Well, thank you so much for being a value customer here at Travelers. Please have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll be making sure that we send that payment out ASAP." Yes, sir. Have a great day. Okay. Goodbye, Eddie. Thank you. Girl, let's get going. She probably had to tell her coworker, girl, these lime, girl, no, 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 I'm writing this down. I'm telling, what, girl, I know they ain't just tell you that they, didn't we just see them on the show with the ring? Oh, girl, so I just asked, you heard me when I asked him about the ring. I asked him about the ring. Girl, let me open up this daggone case. Girl, let me get, hold on, wait a minute, let me see something. Because I'm getting on, wait a minute, hold on, let me see if Carol got any time on her calendar. Because I'm getting on her calendar 8. She probably thought that coworker sitting across from the room. Girl, let me get on Carol. Let me see what days Carol got open on her calendar. Oh, okay, she got 10 o'clock tomorrow. She got, yeah, I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna put this on her calendar for 10 o'clock tomorrow. They said that the two of them conspired to make fraudulent statements and provided misleading information in support of 3 insurance claims for financial gain. The detective said, I will also note that some folks may view insurance fraud as innocent crime and it only affects insurance companies. He said that ain't true. It affects all of us by premium rates going up. He never lied about that. He said, so we take these very seriously. Um, he basically said that the insurance claim adjusters, the underwriters, them people y'all be talking to, was like, nah, something up. So they started watching the show. Did y'all know that? They started watching the show to see if they could see this. And that's when they started peaching that ring that I had on in the last video, because I ain't have it on this one. I had this one on. They start seeing the jewelry pop out. Because when you report something on your insurance, I had a break in back in, God, 2004, I think it was. 2004, I had a break in my house. You got to show pictures or receipts or what's comparable. The last thing you need to be doing is playing with an insurance company. So, what was their financial situation? What was that about? Was y'all that hungry for money? The thing about it is, it's the audacity of the privilege and the audacity of the wealth. A woman goes into a store and she steals a pack of chicken. They go into a store and return a piece of jewelry that they already paid $200,000 for. Did y'all see the story of the little girl that had the autism that walked up in there and stole the stuff and spent time in jail? And now she done went down to the Target and did some too. I'm gonna cover that. Some people steal because it's a sport. Some people steal because they've been taught, right, to steal. And some people steal because they need it. They're desperate and they don't have anything else. Absolutely, Lisa. Yes, boo. $1 water. I'm going to cover that. I've been trying to get the footage. They go up in there in 400 some $1,000. Y'all know they kept talking about that threshold because that threshold means something. When they said that they found that email, I was like, it's over. Let me tell y'all what the email said again. The court documents detail an email that the deputies obtained in which Eddie is accused of sending a list of reportedly stolen items to his wife. In the email, it says the email asks if there were additional high value items we can add to this inventory list, i.e., Chanel, shoes, etc. I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum. What the? But here's the thing. People have been questioning them, y'all, for a minute. This ain't new that people was questioning whether or not. So Eddie opened up a business called Happy Eddie. It's a cannabis brand. Wendy and her husband Eddie launched a cannabis adjacent lifestyle brand named Happy Eddie. You can find that on bravo.com, January 27, 2024. It was introduced to the public on Real Housewives of Potomac, specifically during season 8, as Eddie's venture with Wendy as a partner investment. She had some. They said the brand has expanded into multiple states, offering flower, pre-rolls, edibles, tinctures, I don't know what that is, and associated merchandise. That can be found in an article on Bravo. Wendy Osefo details her and Eddie's financial success October 5th, 2025, just 6 days ago. She had her candle business called Onyx Home Essentials. She was the CEO of a home decor home essential line. That can be found on August 20th of 2024 on realitytv.com. They had another business. Wendy is the founder and CEO of 1954 Equity, which is often described as a nonprofit or venture connected to equity and social good efforts. October 11, 2025. Wendy was engaged in media. She has a YouTube channel, weekly called The Dr. Wendy Show. She's authored a book, Tears of My Mother. She has a teaching course titled Psychology of TV Reality at Wesleyan University. While academic, this can count as part of her personal brand. People have always questioned Wendy's legitimacy about her persona, her authenticity, and a narrative control rather than a hard financial claims. People use the fake label to describe her. They said that this was done by cast members and by fans alike to suggest that parts of her personality or story seemed to be contrived or edited. The cast, specifically Robin and Giselle, tended to come to a tense moment on previews, meaning they may be be pushy lines in conflict rather than reflective. Fans' commentary about her was blunt and less substantiated. They said that she just was nasty. Nasty. Someone said in a Reddit comment, Wendy has always been fake. Someone else said, Wendy is a lying liar who lies. This was a statement from a fan. Someone else talked about a fake beef that she had going on. They said in many past conversations and confrontations, Wendy was challenged about telling stories or versions of events that different from what everybody else saw. They said somebody else dragged her and was like, you waited for the camera, sis. That she was starting some little fake beef. In season 6, Giselle apparently brings up a fake rumor involving Wendy and Eddie, and they defend themselves. And Wendy was saying, lies, lies, lies. I live my life in a certain way, and that ain't it. To drag me into the mix of this nastiness, it doesn't make sense. People say that she has delusions of grandeur. Someone said that her image is inflated. She has no real personality except for her delusions of grandeur and being a bully. People on Reddit said Wendy be projecting far more confidence, success, or importance than they believe she has. In a Bravo discussion forum and fan pages, there have occasionally been offhand remarks or rumors questioning whether all the business ventures that she and her husband tout are lucrative. Well, it sure seems like that very well may be something to discuss. Since a lot of folk ain't been in with her. I don't understand the audacity of people who come on TV and tout, play these roles, young. When the average people that are looking at them, we live a humble life or the best life we can. And whether or not you got a fine house and jewelry and cars and all of that, at the end of the day, we don't give it. You just entertainment. Me and my friends be like, you ain't got to fake it to kick it. You ain't got to fake it to kick it. Everybody know Giselle broke. Look at what stuff she can rob it. You ain't got to fake it to kick it. We're gonna like you whether or not you rich or poor. Most content creators, we just the average people that got something to say. People come and watch us by the thousands. But we ain't out here, well, most of us, we ain't out here faking this luxurious lifestyle to get more clicks and views. People really don't give a. They just want the drama, the truth of who you are, or lie. But we don't need you to be going out there and allegedly defrauding the insurance business. Cause that's just somebody you just don't be playing with, young. If your child threw a shoe and bust the front window out, you ain't gonna blame the little boy down the street. You're gonna work extra hours and you're just gonna be like, like, how you doing? Hey Barbara, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. Look, um, I've been in this house for 15 years, Barbara, and I ain't never called for nothing like this. But look, my front window is busted out. The air coming in, child, is hot. I got the air conditioner running, child. Pepco, Washington gas. It's kicking my, and I really need this thing broke. But how the window break, Auntie? Child, these kids was in here playing, and the object accidentally hit the window. We know how to lie without blaming somebody else or faking a funk about it. We just gonna call and hope that we can fall on the mercies of Pepco. How you doing, Progressive? Yeah, we gonna do what we gotta do. And then you're down there and your weave lifted. Your husband look like anyway. I y'all ask me, Auntie, what you think about this? I think there's some bullshit because everybody is struggling, and it is time for us to see real life people struggle and how you get past the struggle. We don't need to see a Chanel bag. We don't need to see you going out on expensive trips and y'all arguing. We don't need to see you with your rental dresses on. Like that's why I stopped watching Real Housewives. Because it's so phony and that's not my life. And I can't relate to that bullshit. Now I be wanting to see them argue. Okay. I do want to see them argue. And that's arguing for those of you all who are not familiar with my channel. I call it argue. That's when you about to fight. It's one thing to be arguing, right? But it's another thing when you argue, because the argue leads to fighting. But she's always been this person who I just rise above everything. But how we gonna rise above this, boo? Because all your business in the street, and anytime my people ask me to talk about it, it's a hot topic issue. I wish them nothing but the best, but you ain't got a lot of kick it. You don't have to live a fake life. Y'all, if this has not taught y'all anything, this teaches you that, honey, you just don't ever know what a person's situation is. It's been many things that have come up, right, that have challenged our thoughts about, the haves and the haves not. Young, if you got a door that you can turn your key in and you got some food in a frigidaire, as they used to call it back in the old day, and you can fry you some bologna and put some mayo or some mustard on it, put it between two slices of bread, and maybe have you like a little bag of tater chips and a little something to drink, a little bubbly or something, root beer or whatever it is that you got. Young, you blessed. If you got a bed that you laying in at night, right, and that joint, halfway keep you straight, and you got the temperature down in the house to manage how much utilities and all of that stuff that gone up, right? But you up in there, you got love up in there, you got different people you could argue with, now different people you could disagree with, and y'all get up in the morning and still love each other and hope that y'all had the best day. You blessed. If you got a one two that's paying you every 2 weeks, young, you are blessed. Sometimes we just got to learn how to live with the minimum. I ain't saying the bare minimum because that's a struggle. Don't nobody want to struggle. And I ain't over here advocating for struggling. I'm just trying to put the things in perspective. You ain't got to fake it to kick it. You live where you live and you be blessed and you stay blessed and you know that you blessed. I'm trying to tell you, you got a key and can walk in the door, you blessed. Because there are thousands of people who living out on the street in 10 city. Who gives a whether or not Wendy got an engagement ring or some Chanel Parker books, some Louis Vuitton? Like, who gives a who cares? Because if you ain't giving none to me, it ain't helping me no damn way. And now everybody out here dragging you for being fakest. Now your business out there in the street. Now your business all out in the street. For what? For what? How does that serve you? Now, who you got to go back and apologize to? Now, what story you gonna add on to it? And then how do you face your kids? And how do your kids face the other kids? And now those people that treated your children as privileged children, right? Because they thought that you had something. Now how they gonna treat them? Be authentically who you are. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much or how little you got, you still blessed with the air in your body. You blessed. Because it's a lot of people ain't wake up this morning. It is what it is. Y'all want to know what I thought? That's what I think. We'll follow the story. If y'all want me to follow the story, I'll follow the story and give y'all an update on it. Y'all know I aim to please. If y'all got anything else y'all need me to talk about out this mother, we'll talk about that too. But always remember, y'all, you're blessed. You may not have everything that you want, but there are people who got everything they want and they still not happy. So as long as you got love, peace, and hair grease, you good. I love y'all. Until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. And let me know what you think about this downtown to the comments. Welcome to Auntie's Advice. Bye, y'all.